We are going to do some testing with a very simple setup created by Mr. Keshe, a nuclear engineer, to prove the deposits of graphene or sp2, sp3s on copper electrodes. This test is going to be performed at normal pressure and normal temperature, room temperature. Okay. Now what we see here, this is a Coca-Cola bottle, a transparent Coca-Cola bottle, empty, completely empty. Without anything inside, empty. And with new copper electrodes who are made from nails from the roof.
In this video, nuclear engineer Keshe demonstrates with a non-acidic liquid inside a simple waste bottle used as a plasma reactor that it is possible to create low levels of energy and that atomic carbon layers are deposited on the inside electrodes, which is confirmed by a nuclear center after independent replication and is confirmed by a leading Nano institute in Europe after a mass spectroscopy. For the creation of carbon sp2 and sp3, no additional sources like magnets, lasers, arcs or gamma rays is used. The experiment happens at room temperature and normal atmospheric pressure.
This is to demonstrate that nano material, nano tubes and nano layers can be produced in a very simple way without use of radioactive material and without use of any high temperature and pressure at the room conditions. What we've done, we have already submitted this to a nuclear institute which they've done the test independently, confirming the correctness of the method to fill this bottle up with a specific liquid which is made and is in this bottle. It's transparent liquid, harmless, and then we measure to show that there are literally plasma electric charges within the bottle. Then we measure the voltages within the bottle because it will be demonstrated soon.
Now, question: the liquid you have there, is it identical to the liquid you gave to the nuclear institute?
Yes. So what we do, we fill up the bottle, not full way, partially. We close the gap. And as you can see, we leave the bottle to be for a while, that the process of plasma production of plasma can carry on. For a while, that the process of plasma production of plasma can carry on.
Okay, so in the top there is a plasma.
The plasma will be created slowly in the top, and what will happen, we will demonstrate very shortly that you actually do not need the environment of the liquid to achieve the production. This is like an ignition system, the liquid. Once the process stops, the whole reaction chain of reactions will take over, and hydrogen will be created, and the plastic, which is the constituent of the bottle, will release its carbon to be deposited on the material as a nano layer, and the other component of the plastic, which is hydrogen, will be released as atomic hydrogen, which can be used for energy production and has been measured to be correct. What I want to do is something very empty the contents of the bottle altogether.
Okay.
Now the bottle is totally empty. The electrodes are getting dark. Now the energies are at 70s. If you look, you're building up, and then you can go back to negative and switch forward, which shows the capacitor property of the nano material. But now, you've seen the small voltages, the small cap, small bottle. My philosophy has been that in the universe there are no caps. We don't see any caps on galaxies. There are open space energies. So we're going to show a very simple material. This is the same phenomena. This is the cap, and this is the bottle, totally open. We still have the same energy. Is this what we call tapping into universal energy? Even higher, at a much higher levels. Now we have the energy from outside the bottle penetrating inside. So,
but still there is a plasma.
There is a plasma. The process has started. You can never stop the process.
So you mean that in the
you see
in the bottle itself,
yes,
plasma is created?
Plasma now is created in a very rapid point, because now the CO2, which is within the air, is becoming part of the components of absorption. Now you will see the deposition of the carbon on the electrodes will be much faster, because the CO2 in the atmosphere now is allowed to join the total decomposition of the head of the plastic as well. So maybe it's the first time you see total empty bottle, no connections, no liquid.
Okay.
You've seen it here, so you don't need me to confirm to you. You checked it yourself. Now, look at this one. 154 millivolts. But the interesting thing is, we drain it. It's finished. We go back to it. We're back again. So the system is regenerating immediately. So the claim that it could be static does not apply. But you might see something very interesting. Two different electrodes. You see voltages across the electrodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do the reverse. We do the reverse. Small amounts. But it shows very much the energy is within the plasma.
It's quite stable, this one, huh?
Yeah, because they are very, very stable. What we do, we change. 80 on the same electrodes, and more and different across two electrodes which are not even connected to each other. 60, 70, 65. The drop is because of the resistance in the meter. It comes to a point that it doesn't go anymore. Take it away, put it back on again, and the build up is there again. So, for the first time, you can see the development and creation of energy from open space in a plasmatic condition. First of all, we'll have a look at the total state of the nanomaterial.
Okay.
It's heavily coated now. We have our reference point, the original copper, if you can see the difference.
Yes, I see the difference.
Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to measure the voltage if it still is running, or the pulse is still active. Very low. Yes. Now we are in
a higher level.
Much higher level. It shows that in the universe, once you establish the energy transformation, how they link to each other is how we perceive to receive them. And it's very, very interesting. The minute you discharge, it goes. Because you can use liquid according to control your plasma. Yeah? There you are. Building up, building up. The energy is just building up. Don't forget that the cap is closed.
Yes,
so we are about quarter of
very
volt.
nice.
Building up. The energy is
amazing.
We are building while we are training. In fact, 20, 27. Oh, let's see what's happening here. This is right. This in reality shows something very, very interesting. If one understands the concept. The universe has a balanced energy. You cannot keep on taking it out without replacing it. Or you can move the energy from one point to another. And this is what we see. Energy gets transferred from one side. Don't forget, this is a three-dimensional plasma condition. There's no liquid. So it's very much what we have in the universe. And if you leave this to a point that it shows, once you drain energy, all part of the energy is transferred to one part of the universe. The other part has to give up some of it for the process to happen. And this is how actually the galaxies and the stars are created, and the solar systems are created. When energy gets transferred to some point, nanomaterial. Because that was the whole purpose. You will see nanomaterial. It's so fine. The minute I push, the material breaks through. That's it. You see it? So the minute I push, it breaks through. You see it? The minute I push, it breaks through, which is the coating. You see? There's no. That's how easy nanomaterials can be produced.
Without
radiation, without temperature, without compression, without vacuum. And I'll show you very simple. I'll break it now. There we are.
To cache the physical interactions and events which are forced inside the plasma reactor are similar or identical to those that happen over a longer time scale on micro and macro level in the universe, like the formation of stars and galaxies, supernovas, black holes, dark matter, gravitational effects, radiation, fission, fusion, and so on. Nuclear engineer Keshe demonstrated with a non-acidic liquid inside a simple waste bottle used as a plasma reactor that it is possible to create energy and that atomic carbon layers can be deposited on the inside electrodes, which is confirmed by leading institutes in Europe.
What we're going to demonstrate now or show, which has been done in the previous experiments, is that you can produce nanomaterial in any shape or form you like. This is most probably the longest nanotube ever seen. What in reality is, this is a telephone cable with usually 7 different electrodes, smaller cables, color cables inside it, with each cable, small wire in a way, carries 7 copper wires. Well, we've done some, which is very easy to do now. We place this copper, which is covered with the initial plastic of the wire, and then the external cable wire, or cable plastic, in a reactor like this. And after a given time, what happens is that if you take the electrode out, one of these copper lines out, what we will see is that the 7 cables or 7 wires inside one of the copper color little wires are totally black. This is the color they used to be originally, copper color. But now they are totally black.
So they are covered with nanomaterial.
They are covered with nanomaterial.
Even if they are in the isolated.
Even they are in a plastic coating of the wire, which is already in the cover of the plastic cable. And we know this material is totally nano layer, because one of the properties of nanomaterial is that it is not conductive. So, to prove that the whole thing is correct, or the wires are literally why they are in this jacket, are totally insulated from each other. So, you can demonstrate it very easy, how easy it can be made, and in reality, we make as much as we like. Any shape, any size. These are the high tension aluminum used for high tension cables. If we use the same meter and show the resistance of, let's say, 2000 K ohms, this can be seen. The same, totally insulated. The copper coating will not allow the aluminum oxide nano layer, will not allow the collections. Very interesting, because you can see it. So what it means, with this method, you can literally reduce the size of a telephone cable to a single line. And then this has application in medical purposes, where, as we've shown, that each wire is separated totally individually, where the nerves are cut. This considering this to be like the spine nerve system, where the spine is cut, or where in the case of MS, the coating of the nerve has gone, we can recoat the nerves and allow the person to live a normal life. This is why the medical trials of the technology are going on and are so successful, because we understand the concept very well. To show the total insulation of the wires from each other, we have taken 2 wires out of one of these small wires out. We have to sandpaper it because it's actually diamond structure, And if we take the battery and we take a Christmas light, I think we move the side to the side that we can see it in here. This is the battery, and that's a Christmas light.
Okay.
Which shows that the light is working.
Yeah. So that's normal
Christmas
battery connected with normal connector. Okay.
In reality, these two copper wires, which have been taken out of one of these telephone lines, and twisted to each other, if they can connect these two lines together and bring the light back to working, it means the coating of nano layer on the copper wires is 100%, and it shows that production of the nano material is correct. And there's only just two hands here. We try to find the best way to demonstrate this. That will have the best result. Or if you can get a connection. What I do, very, very difficult. I think you need two heights more than one. Yeah. You need two people. Make it very soaking. Only the pits are operating.
Try to
hold that.
nice.
Oh, now I can connect.
I think there's only one.
You see?
Yeah.
Alright.
So instead of having a short circuit,
I'm blowing the fuse out.
yeah,
The battery, the two wires are allowing the connection.
yes. So each of them is separate from each other, isolated.
So we have shown for the first time that nano material can be used to reduce the size of cabling.
Yeah.
We can show that nanomaterial can be used to create insulation and even in production for layers in microchip. So you do not need expensive apparatus and radiation material to create one of the simplest materials in the world, which is in the universe, which is atomic power. And all we do is separate it from the components of the Coca-Cola bottle.